Well, hey, everybody, and welcome to our Happy Earth Day conference call here on April 22nd, 2023. We're so pleased that you guys can join us to talk a little bit about green spring cleaning for our home and foods, and of course, a celebration of Earth Day. You know, as we normally do, we are going to talk some about Sunrider foods while we're on this call. So I just want to remind everybody quickly that none of the information presented in this presentation is intended to represent a diagnosis of cure, I should say, of any illness or disease. And as we typically do, I'd like to very quickly touch on why somebody should consider Sunrider if it's a brand new person watching this call. First of all, Sunrider's been in existence for 40 years. That's absolutely incredible in this industry. We're so happy that Sunrider's been around that long. And with their investment in a brand new manufacturing facility in Dallas, Texas area, we're going to be around for another 40 and another 40 after that. One of the other things I love about Sunrider is the fact that we operate in over 50 countries around the world. And I've said many times, and again, one of my favorite things about this business is being able to travel around the world and interact with other countries and other people and other cultures. Thirdly, I should say, Sunrider internally manufactures all of our products. That's all the research, development, and manufacturing of over 400 of the world's finest, herbal-based nutritionals, cleansing beverages, weight management, sports and fitness, green household, which we'll be talking about today, as well as all natural skincare and cosmetics. So again, folks, on behalf of Judy, Cheryl, Tim, and myself, we'd like to talk to you a little bit about why we should be cleaning green and how that impacts Earth Day and what we want to do for our planet, our homes, and our environment. First of all, this whole idea of cleaning green. I mean, green cleaning is the practice of using eco-friendly cleaning products that are safer for people and our environmental health. Now, why should we want to do that? Okay, number one, it improves indoor air quality. It reduces exposure to harmful chemicals. It's safe for people with allergies and sensitivities. It has a reduced environmental impact, and many of these green products are super cost effective. You know, with that, let's get this thing kicked off. Cheryl, take it over, please. Talk to us a little bit about some of your experience with these products and some of the things that you do around your home and helping others too.
Thank you so much, Mac, and happy Earth Day to everybody. And for me, the first thing that I think about is decluttering our home. And the Taoist philosophy states that when you let something go from your life, something better will come in. And having a healthy, uncluttered home makes way for a healthy body and a joyful spirit. And our home is our haven, our sanctuary from the outside world. And most of us spend a third of our lives in our home, especially now because we have home-based businesses. And we want it to be a place where we relax, where we rejuvenate, where we nurture, shelter, energize, feed our families and ourselves. And we want to be in a place where we're thriving. And so some of the helpful things that I do to declutter are, number one, first of all, I have a big why. And for me, my big why is I don't want to leave any messes behind when I leave this beautiful earth. I want everything to be organized. So first thing, get yourself a big why. And number two, go slowly. When you go into something full force, you usually burn out, tire out, you get overwhelmed, you get frustrated, and then you stop. Number three, you got to be prepared to let go. If we try hard enough, we can convince ourselves why we should keep everything. Anyway, forget the just in case. Number four, finish the job. Get the things you're letting go of out of the house, not in a corner. Set a declutter zone with a time limit on it. Number five, focus on decluttering your stuff, not someone else's. So let your husband and your children do their own decluttering. And you want to be the example only. And you have to be in the right frame of mind. If you're not, it can be very frustrating. And that's when I always go back to why I'm decluttering. Number seven, focus on what you want to keep, not what you want to get rid of. Think freedom, not deprivation. Number 8, don't organize before you declutter. Organized clutter is still clutter. Number 9, don't get sidetracked cleaning and putting stuff away. The goal is to clear clutter out, not clean and tidy it. Number 11, don't take a trip down memory lane when you're decluttering. Set aside some time so you can look through things later, get yourself a cup of Cali, and then you can reminisce. Number 11, you need to be ruthless. The more you discard at each decluttering session, the fewer times you will need to go back to decluttering. Number 12, don't keep stuff out of guilt. Focus on keeping things that add the value to your life. An example might be if you spent a lot of money on a vase and now you look at it and you think it's ugly, don't keep it. And don't slow down your progress trying to sell every little thing. It might be more rewarding if you donate it to a worthy cause, because sometimes our junk is someone else's treasure. Number 14, decluttering is not a one-time event. Sometimes we need to do multiple rounds of decluttering before we reach a place where our home or office has the right amount of stuff and the right feeling. And then number 15, don't aim for perfection. Have a realistic expectation. Aim to have a home or office that is functional and easy to maintain. Because remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step. So big job completed. Now we're on to the cleaning. So our home, everywhere you look, you're finding germs. Right? In the kitchen, the bathroom, the living areas, the laundry room, the appliances, our computers, our cell phones, the toothbrush holder. Germs are everywhere. And what I love is that Dr. Chen has created fabulous products for us. And I only use 2 of them in my home. And I know Tim is going to share with us all about these fabulous products and why they're important to him and his business too.
I will. Thank you very much, Cheryl. That was good. I got to get on that list, and there's a few things I need to get decluttering right away. And I love the order of how you've done it, so you can set thoughts aside that tend to help you cling on to things that, like being sentimental about things that just you'll never wear that shirt again, but oh, I wore it 20 years ago. It made me feel good. Anyway, a little bit about Sunbright. I've got it over here, and Sunbright Laundry. I'm going to read some of this right off of here. It's highly concentrated, oxidized and disinfects, botanically derived grease clutterers, non-toxic, eco-friendly, pleasant natural fragrance, that is for sure. I love that it's a citrus-based cleaner, hyperallergenic, and I do body work with people, and so I clean my sheets with it. The importance of that is that I've never, in all my years of using this for definitely decades, I've never had anybody have an allergic response to the sheets and what I clean them with, and I take pride in that, actually, knowing that I never have to, not just pride, comfort is a more accurate word, just to know that my clients are safe and that I don't ever have to worry about them on the table. I also like, even with the Sunbright Laundry, I do use it for, I will make a little, just a little mix of water and Sunbright, and I like to use it for cleaning. You can use the Sunbright Super Clean for basic cleaning, but in a pinch, Sunbright Laundry works too. It's just it's a wonderful product. I love the aroma that it leaves my clothes in. Whenever I put on like my fresh t-shirt, it was like, I put it on this morning, it was like, oh, it just gives me that little lift. And it's also got a built-in fabric softener in the Sunbright Laundry. And so it's already got a nice, soft, cozy feel to it. It's just a wonderful product that I'll never live without, and I haven't used anything else for a long time. And taking it right into want me to touch upon Sunbreeze right now, Cheryl? Is that correct?
Yes, please, Tim.
Okay, just to kind of go from that aroma into Sunbreeze, and using aromatherapy, Sunbreeze can be diffused in a lot of different varieties of diffusers that we have. I use it obviously for all kinds of musculature benefits, because it helps improve circulation, helps you help yourself improve your own circulation. there's so many benefits to Sunbreeze, but in this case, it helps to refresh your home and to um, neutralize some of the, not just the odors, but to neutralize some and disinfect some of the properties of a germ-filled environment. And it helps us eliminate the germs we don't want and keep the happy, a little bit of the happy pathogens and that we have in our lives that actually help keep our strong and stimulate our immune system. But this definitely helps to clear the air and to make for that much more grounding of an environment, because you know what, it just feels clean with Sunbreeze. But that's my little take on it. And does anybody else have anything to say about their favorite uses of Sunbreeze in terms of the cleanly aspect in our homes?
Well, I want to jump in quickly here too.
Thank
And
you.
first of all, I want to back up. Cheryl, wonderful presentation on decluttering. I had to laugh as you were going through some of those points because my wife and I have been dealing with some of that issue in our home right now, doing some spring green cleaning around here, and have certainly dealt with the issue of clutter in our home as well. And the one that really resonated with me, I think, I can't remember, it was one of your first couple of points there, but it was letting go of the old so you can make room for the new. And that one has resonated with me so well because we've come across so much of that. Laughingly, Tim, I think you said something about it too. You find something that shirt from 20 years ago that you wore, will you ever wear it again? Good question. Just some great stuff there. Thank you for those tips. Tim, in terms of the Sunbright Laundry and super clean household products, fabulous. We use them around our house too. I mean, we have the spray bottle that we put together where we dilute down the household, and we're using it on all surfaces around our home, the carpets, etc. Having dogs, okay, and animals around the house too. It's wonderful from that aspect. Laundry all the time. I used to suffer, and you'd mentioned it with some of your clients not having allergic reactions on the sheets that you use with your body work. I used to use one of those brand X products before I discovered Sunrider and these wonderful super clean things. And I would get rashes. It wouldn't feel good on my skin, the clothing and the sheets and everything. And as soon as we switched to Sunrider green cleaning products, man, all of that stuff went away. Absolutely fabulous. Sunbreeze, my take on that. First product I ever experienced was Sunrider, so it's always been my favorite. Okay, I love it. We use it just like you described. We have a diffuser. We have several of them around the house, but it's something that we use every single night. There you go, right there, buddy. And further to that, I just wanted to make one last comment about it, and that is Sunbreeze. And I don't know if it's because the first thing I was exposed to or just something I've done over the years, I always keep a bottle in my pocket. I have found it one of the most easiest ways to attract people to the conversation of Sunrider, simply by putting some in my hands, breathing it, and having people around me pick up on that wonderful aroma you talked about, Tim. It sets up the conversation. What is that you're using? It smells wonderful. Tell me a little bit more. I use that all the time to attract people to that conversation about Sunrider. Just to carry on the call here, one of the things that we've talked about in our previous spring calls, which we've done our spring detox and cleanse call, and we did our spring seasonal awareness call for everybody, is we talked about the importance of spring foods and leafy green vegetables and fruits for the season and all the wonderful things that go into that. And before we kind of turn this back over to Judy, I just wanted to make a quick comment about buying locally. And I don't want to make a big deal about this, but as much as possible, I want to encourage people to buy locally at farmers markets. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but not the least of which is there are over like 8,000 farmer markets nationally here in the United States that, again, are small businesses that we try to support. And one of the things that was really compelling to me was a statistic about the money. When we purchase something from the grocery store, which I'm not saying we shouldn't do, the farmer themselves only earns about 17 cents of every dollar that is purchased. When we buy from a farmer's market, the local farmer earns up to 97 cents of every dollar that we purchase. So again, folks, as much as you can, buy local, go out and experience the wonderful farmers markets in your neighborhoods and community. With that said, Judy, may I turn this over to you, please?
Thank you, Mac. Great information, and yet another reason to eat locally, buy locally, and we can also check out. You know, it might be possible we can actually check out the growing conditions to verify that we agree that it is organically grown or whatever. So very many reasons to shop locally, and I'm sure we'd all agree that one of the joys of spring is simply the abundance of fruits and vegetables that suddenly become available. They're higher quality, and it just adds to the enjoyment. Suddenly our realm of eating opens up, and it's fresh and nice, and we feel good, and all the fabulous colors makes a play in that. But with every wonderful gift comes a responsibility. And what is that responsibility? Well, it's to be sure it's clean, number one, because obviously fruits and vegetables have all these nooks and crannies. And while many of us have chosen not to, we want to choose as much organically as we can possibly obtain and afford, there are still contaminants on both types of fruits and vegetables. One thing that you may find interesting, that there are over 85,000 and growing synthetic chemicals in commercial use today, and many are now known to cause cancer, damage to the brain and the nerves and reproductive system. So that's a very negative thought, but that's reality. And then here we look at the dirty dozen, and my goodness, when I look on that, these are the ones that have the most pesticides on them. And look at there, strawberries, yikes. And I have a new fondness for pears, nectarines. My goodness, most of those are my favorite. So I don't know about you, but if I didn't have an answer to that, that would certainly panic me. So now, even if we do buy organic, there's some things to consider, because they aren't completely pesticide free. So the thing we need to do with organic is, of course, clean it, but because we're going to be faced with the natural pests, because no pesticides were used, which means removing the pests. So there's bugs, insects, mice, and other animals may have come in contact with the foods we're purchasing, and they may have left a little debris behind, if you know what I mean. There's also fungi. There can be organisms such as bacteria and viruses. And so all those are things that we want to consider when we're cleaning our fruits and vegetables. Now, most conscientiously rinse all their produce they buy in their sink. Some may want to stay in a natural vein and realize it needs more and add some vinegar. And then some may find a product that they can actually put in the water and then cleanse their vegetables of some of these contaminants and then rinse it off again. Now, I have a big problem with that. Number one, if it's not safe to ingest, why have you just put it on your food, and why do you need to wash it off afterwards? That concerns me. And number two is the water. My goodness, most of us don't drink straight tap water. If we have a choice, we have some kind of filter, or we purchase something that will purify our water. We're all aware of toxins in the water. And unfortunately, as the scarcity grows, a large majority of household water is actually reclaimed and gone through a process to purify, of course. However, they're finding all sorts of things of residue in the water, such as antibiotics, hormones, viruses even. Did you know, in fact, that during COVID, one way they checked the spread of COVID was by testing the wastewater from dormitories, because they could tell how much virus was in that. So again, we need something more safe. So what is a person to do? Well, I don't like to be negative without an answer. And Sunrider has provided us a wonderful answer, and that is a Sun Smile fruit and vegetable rinse. And all of us increasing, trying to maintain, rebuild, progress in our health, are increasing our plant base in our diets. And so we want to have a safe means to use it. And that is the fruit and vegetable rinse. Now, what it's made from is a benzoin extract, which is a natural antiseptic, preservative, and cleaner. And it's combined with decyl polyglucose, which is a biodegradable cleaning agent derived from corn and coconut. So in other words, all natural products derived from corn and coconut. That's what I tell people. And that's what makes me feel good about using it. These two substances can actually bring the desired results by rinsing away pesticide residue, bacteria in only minutes. And it's so highly concentrated, you only need 1 capful to a gallon of water. Now, if you're washing, rinsing and cleansing a smaller amount of fruits and vegetables, then you could, of course, reduce that amount. But you have to remember, it's only active for an hour. I know we were so thrilled with it when it first came out. We filled up bottles, had them under the sink. We were spraying down everything. But if you have anything left, it loses its potency. So don't fill up the sink or don't make your spray bottle until you're ready to use it. Now, another interesting way to use it is in the garden and yard, everything that bugs you, actually, or even to revive a plant. And in that case, you need 2 capfuls to a gallon. And once again, use up everything during your garden spree, so to speak, because it will lose its potency. Now, it's interesting, it can also be used commercially. There are those who work in the agricultural field, and they may be forced to use in their employment pesticide or something like that. They can actually treat their skin with it, put that on themselves before going out to do something like that, or after exposure. They could also, and this would work for others in their yard, if they succumb to the need to something that is a little more deadly, they can wash a mask in, I mean, not wash it, but, dip it in the fruit and vegetable rinse and then wear it as they go outside, and that will protect them. So that's just some interesting things. And here are just a few more things that it's effective against: strep, staph, E. coli, salmonella, dust mites, lice, fleas in their eggs, contact dermatitis, ringworm, eczema, impetigo, psoriasis, nail fungus, athlete's foot, warts, poison oak, poison ivy, it's good for garden insect spray. And now here's 2 I never heard of before: candle wax and earwax. So I'm not sure on that one, but that's what some have used it for. So there's so many uses, and it's so valuable to us. My home is never without it, and I never travel without it. Cool. So how do the rest of you personally use it? Does anyone else have a special use or a special application for fruit and vegetable rinse?
Cheryl?
Okay, I guess, did you want to go, Tim?
Oh, either or there. It's okay. It's all good.
Okay, well, for me, like you, Judy, I use it everywhere. And I carry it in my purse. I use it for travel. It's one of my favorite products. And I remember once at a convention sitting with Dr. Chen, and he said that the fruit and vegetable rinse was his prize product. And then I just recently came across a quote from Dr. Chen. He said that it's like a fire. Everything that is thrown into the fire is consumed. And he said this product will literally destroy all harmful organisms on fruits and vegetables and neutralize each of the carcinogenic sprays. It can even penetrate the wax and remove most of it to destroy any pesticides or germs that exist prior to the wax application. So there isn't much that this fantastic product won't do. And Tim, did you have something you wanted to share
That
with?
was awesome. For starters, just how much I guess just how much I use it for everything. It's exclusive with all my vegetables. And in fact, I get excited to know how good my vegetables are going to be. And last night I actually got some fresh blueberries and rinsed them, and it's just amazing how plump, and it's like it's almost restorative. And if an environment that helps everything that you want to consume, but also in your environment. I actually make a little spray bottle of on my bathroom sink, just for the finish, the little sparkle, a little touch. Thank you for the details, and that's some things I've learned here today. Goodness, appreciate that so much. But guys, it travels with me also, especially if you're restricted and you have an opportunity to cook, but you don't have anything to ensure that your vegetables are safe, and it just takes a few minutes and it's done. And again, one thing I want to mention is this: how cost effective all of these products are, particularly this. I mean, you get one of these, yeah, it may cost a little bit, $50 or something along that line. But that lasts you for a year. It's pennies a wash, and on top of that, and to have the quality that goes with it gives me great comfort and satisfaction, actually, especially when you bite into something that's been rinsed in veggie rinse. It tastes delicious. I love how I mentioned my dad, who's not with us anymore, but he used to love using it, and he used to have all his romaine lettuce all stacked in the fridge, all separately and itemized. And you can imagine a file system of romaine lettuce. But he was just always so elated at how good it was, and it changed how he treated the food. It was cool, and it's not just him, but anybody who has an experience with this realizes how special it is. And that's just, I could go on, but that's part of my experience.
Tim, that's great, and so appreciate you sharing all that. For me, it's the same way. I mean, we've used it around our house forever as well. Traveling internationally, I always take the trial size with me because I'm picking up fruits and vegetables along the way. Couple of the things that Judy mentioned, I just wanted to touch on quickly again. One was the fact that, again, because this is a biodegradable natural compounds that make up this product, we do not have to re-rinse the fruit and vegetables once it's cleaned with fruit and vegetable rinse. We can take it and ingest them immediately because this is good for us. We gave our disclaimer at the very beginning of the call, and that's the only reason I'm going to share what I'm about to share right now. But I ended up having a knee replacement surgery a few years ago. And because of the antibiotics and all of the pain medication they gave me, I developed terrible candida in my gut and an awful rash around my body. I was actually instructed by one of my Sunrider group to actually consume and ingest the fruit and vegetable rinse in small quantities over a period of 3 days. And I got to tell you guys, the candida was gone. The rash was history. Now, I did have to build back up that good bacteria in my gut with our Vitadophilus and Nuplus, of course, from a probiotic and prebiotic standpoint. But this stuff is incredible. I love the quote. Dr. Chin is right. It's the fire that burns out everything that's bad in the impurities. So incredible information. And again, thank you guys for sharing in such detail the way that you do. And Cheryl, I know that we have a special going on in Canada right now that maybe you can talk to us a little bit about.
We sure do, Mac, and I surely took advantage of it. And up until April 30th at 5, if you buy at least one bottle of our fruit and vegetable rinse with the Sunbright Super Clean, or you could buy 2 Super Clean and 2 fruit and vegetable rinse, they're giving us 2 gifts. And they're awesome gifts, and they're a surprise, so I'm not going to share what they are because I know. But anyway, it's a great time to take advantage of these wonderful products. And, you don't really need a reason to get gifts. These products are the gift. And so anyway, but, April 30th, you still can get some of these wonderful prizes.
Well, yeah, and in Canada, please take advantage of this. We had a similar special here in the United States, but it was so popular, they sold out. The special's over. Now, we do still have the fruit and vegetable rinse. In the US, we are sold out of the Sunbright Super Clean Laundry and Household at the minute. So we're hoping those come back very, very soon. But again, this was such a popular promotion because they're great products. I suspect springtime, people again doing all the things that we're talking about, and again having a better appreciation of what green cleaning is really all about now. people are looking for these type of products, folks. So again, we are in the perfect time as always with what we have to offer from Sunrider. And, you know, I just kind of like to kind of close the call out today. Thank everybody. Tim, Cheryl, Judy, you guys, fabulous as always. Appreciate you sharing so much the way that you do. We've had a little chance to talk a little bit about the importance of Earth Day and thinking green. We've talked about how with green Sunrider cleaning products, we can clean our homes, we can clean our clothing, we can clean our air, we can clean our foods, and clean our environments in general. So again, what else can we do to help Mother Earth? Certainly reduce, reuse, and recycle, conserve energy, sustainable transportation. As we all suggest all the time, eat more of a plant-based diet for our health and wellness. Eco-friendly products like we've just discussed and talked about today. Reduce our water usage, buy secondhand as much as we can, and support sustainable businesses like a Sunrider business. Judy, Cheryl, Tim, any last comments before we close the call down today?
I just wanted to mention, Mac, that while fruit and vegetables is like a fire, I noticed in my research that it doesn't destroy if you're on a septic tank, though it's safe for people with septic tanks. So I wanted to make that point. And so I'm encouraged, more ways to use it, but I'm telling you what, my middle name is Clutter, so I'm going to have Cheryl come. There's no help for me right now. So great information. Thank you, everybody.
Cheryl, Tim, any last goodbyes or say hello to everybody?
Wonderfully presented. Thank you so much, and the opportunity to share and hopefully inspire a few people out there. And as it's inspired us, because there's something about, I mean, staying clean and in a healthy way, but to be touched with something that's an intention to genuinely help and make a difference. It's life-changing. It can be life-changing. And for those who haven't had any experience, I look forward for any of you to be able to have that experience in your first time enlightenment and with Sunrider.
Right on. Cheryl?
And I just want to say thank you to everyone. And every time I'm on these wonderful calls, I learn so much. And I can't wait to share this with everybody. And thank you, Mac, for organizing it all for us.
Absolutely. And, you know, just as a final reminder, everybody, if you haven't already, if you're interested in playing with us as we experience the seasons, which we do through our 5-element cycle to wellness Facebook page, please join us, reach out to your upline, reach out to one of us. We'll be happy to send you an invitation. We also wanted to share with you that we have one more training that we are going to provide during the spring season. It'll be in the month of May, and it will have to do with allergies, which I know I'm dealing with even right now. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll be providing some more information on that, but thank you, Tim. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, everyone, for listening in.
Thank you, Mac.
And we'll talk to you here in the next few weeks about allergies. So stay tuned. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.